7 signs someone loves you, but it's toxic. Word of the day is codependent relationship. The reason why that's the word of the day, because it's going to be in the meat of what we're talking about today. So a codependent relationship is a dysfunctional relationship characterized by a lack of boundaries. You got to have boundaries in a relationship. That's a sign of respect. Most often stemming from one partner's extreme fear of abandonment. So when you got people who are in a codependent relationship, meaning they can't separate themselves from each other, they eat, sleep, drink, and breathe each other. They don't have no friends but them two. No family but them two. It's us against the world, my ride or die. When you call somebody your ride or die, you setting that up for a codependent relationship. Yeah, you setting that up for a codependent, Bonnie and Clyde, codependent relationship all day long. Saying of the day, sometimes your heart needs time to accept what your head already knows. Yeah. 9 times out of 10, to get a healthy relationship, you need to become healthy. This talk is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional guidance, advice, treatment, or diagnosis. If you or someone you know is experiencing a mental health crisis, substance use or abuse, or suicidal thoughts, dial 988. 988 is available 24/7 nationwide and staffed by trained crisis counselors who will just a text or call away. It's not always easy for us to see when the love someone once felt for us has turned toxic. We might feel it from time to time when we start to wonder to ourselves if perhaps we deserve better than this. But at the end of the day, it's just too hard to let go, so we excuse a few bad behaviors and chalk it up to reasons like they must be having another bad day, or maybe they can't help it. But there's a difference between the healthy amount of conflict all couples are bound to experience. So all couples are bound to experience some conflict. It's how you treat each other during those conflicts and how you communicate and talk to each other through these conflicts, which separates them from being red flags, and the red flags of being in a toxic relationship. So 7 signs someone loves you, but it is toxic. Number 1, they get unreasonably jealous and possessive. It probably won't look so bad if you're in elementary or you're in kindergarten and you get jealous and punch another little boy in the face because he was talking to your little girlfriend. You know, I mean, you're in kindergarten, that's kind of understandable. Most people tend to have this misguided belief that a partner's jealousy is actually a sign of how much they care about you. That's where jealousy comes from. It comes from a fear of losing your partner, and it is perfectly normal, a normal emotion to feel from time to time. Be careful not to romanticize it too much, because when your partner starts to get unreasonably jealous and possessive over you, it means that they think you are more as their property than your own person. That's where jealousy comes from, because what is jealousy? Jealousy, first of all, what's envy? You want something that somebody else got. That's what envy is. If I envy you, you got something that I want. Jealousy is where I think you want what I got. Because love is not obsessive. Obsession is, I got to talk to you 24 hours a day. When I can't get in contact with you, you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing. That's obsession. Love is, I can't get in contact with you. As long as you are right, I'm cool. Number 2, they act passive aggressive towards you. Has your partner ever told you it was okay to do something like go out with your friends instead of them, then get hurt or upset when you take them up on their offer? Go ahead out with your girlfriends, I don't care. She go out with her girlfriends and you ain't speaking to her the next day. That's possessive. Do they forgive you for your mistakes only to throw it back in your face the moment you have a disagreement about something? Or resort to tactics like giving you the cold shoulder, the silent treatment, withdrawing their affection, or treating you with sarcasm instead of actually telling you what's wrong? So you don't know what's wrong and they're giving you the silent treatment. You don't know what's wrong and they're giving you the cold shoulder. Being sarcastic. You ask them something like, hey, honey, you seen my brush? I don't know where your brush is. You'll never keep me your stuff. You'll find yourself. Huh?
I know something wrong, man.
Yeah. And it might be something that happened 2 days ago. That's passive aggressive. Passive aggressive behaviors like these are not only manipulative and controlling, but they also show that your partner may lack the emotional maturity and communication skills needed to be in a committed, lasting relationship. Not everyone has the emotional maturity or the communication to be in a relationship. I'm talking about grown people. Most people don't have that. Most people in relationships don't know how to communicate. 7 signs someone loves you, but it is toxic. Number 3, they have codependency issues. We said up here, codependent relationships is a dysfunctional relationship characterized by a lack of boundaries, most often stemming from one partner's extreme fear of abandonment. They have codependency issues. Being in a codependent relationship is emotionally draining and damaging to your self-esteem and sense of identity. Codependency means, now check this out, codependency means always having to save your partner from themselves, fixing all of their problems for them, and attending to their every beck and call without ever getting anything in return. But that's the thing, that's a codependent relationship, because here you go, doing everything for this person, saving them from themselves. You their safety net. You gotta expect people, especially when they grown, to get up and do something for themselves, bro. Especially men. Come on, man. For a woman to pull up on you and start trying to take care of all of your responsibilities and all the stuff you're supposed to be doing for yourself, that's the worst thing a woman want to do. I mean, you gonna give her the wheel? Huh? You gonna give her the wheel? Is she your girlfriend or your mama? Is she your lady or your mama? Or your granny? Depending on the age. Yeah, because it's hard to get that back. When you give somebody power over you, it's hard to get that back. And depending on who they are and how they was raised, there's some people will kill you to not give you that power back. And they think, because they're obsessed with you, they think it's love. That's obsession. 7 signs someone loves you, but it is toxic. Number 4, your relationship has an uneven power dynamic, which means somebody got more power than the other person. There's an uneven power dynamic. No matter how good someone might be at getting you to believe they love you with lavish gifts, whether they use lavish gifts to win you over, flowery words, or grand gestures. If they constantly expect you to prioritize their wants and needs over your own, then they don't really love you. Let's say that one more time, man. No matter how good someone might be at getting you to believe that they love you, be it with lavish gifts, flowery words, or grand gestures, if they constantly expect you to prioritize their wants and needs over your own, then they don't really love you. They only love having control over you. They love being the one who always gets a say in everything you do, makes all your decisions, and tells you what's best for you. So if you feel disrespected or unappreciated by your partner, you should probably watch out. 7 signs someone loves you, but it is toxic. Number 5, the relationship feels bad all the time. I've been in that. I'm talking about there ain't no more good days. No more good days. I'm just trying to get through the day without flipping out. You ever been in a relationship with somebody, everything they do irritates you? You don't even want to disagree with them. But it's everything they do. Everything just irritates the hell out of you. Relationships feel bad all the time. Toxic relationships rarely start out as bad. They start off in a honeymoon period. You don't get no credit for that. Yeah, toxic relationships rarely start out as bad. Most of the time, people don't even notice when things start to turn toxic. And by then, they already feel too much love or commitment towards the other person to just end things with them like that. But make no mistake, if your partner makes you feel bad all the time and there's constant drama in the relationship, the love they have for you is likely toxic. 7 signs someone loves you, but it is toxic. Number 6, you lose who you are to the relationship. Because a man can like surround her with so much, his beliefs, his ideas, everything about him, that she might eat, sleep, drink, and breathe him and forget who she is. And forget what she likes. Especially if she go to the restaurant, he always ordering for her because that's what he likes. She might forget what she likes. Tell you, bro, it's a sad thing to see somebody lose themselves, man. If you ever had a relative and she was really outgoing, really friendly, really nice, then she end up hooking up with somebody, and then you see her at a family function, and she like closed off. She don't look the same. She don't look as pretty as she used to look. Like he done watered her down. Like, man, I'm telling you, man. While it might sound romantic to make someone your whole world and throw yourself into a relationship with them, we should always remember that being committed to our partners is not the same as growing up our own sense of identity and individuality for the sake of our relationship. We should never be so consumed by anyone that we end up we end up over compromising and changing too much of ourselves just to please them and make the relationship work. You should never have to change yourself for a relationship. What they see is what they get. And if they don't want it, then that, move on. And that's not a problem. Everybody is not for everybody. But I'm not going to try to be what you want me to do. You ain't going to set no bar up here and then I jump over it. Then you raise it up here. Well, you ain't do that. Well, I'm like, okay, let me show you I can jump over that. Then you raise it up here. There you go. There goes something else for you to jump over. I'm not a trick pony. Yeah, no, I'm not that. You feel me? Yeah. Last one, you over idealize one another. While it may seem incredibly flattering and romantic at first, it can quickly turn toxic too. Nothing destroys a relationship faster than over idealizing one another and burdening your partner with unrealistically high expectations and not giving each other the freedom to be flawed and make mistakes. Because at the end of the day, it means that it's not you they're in love with, it's a version of you that doesn't even exist. If there is someone in your life who you think loves you in a toxic way, weigh the pros and cons of the relationship as far as trying to patch things up with them or just distancing yourself from them altogether for the sake of your mental and emotional well-being. And if you're struggling with being in a toxic relationship, don't hesitate to reach out to a mental health care professional today and get the help that you need and deserve. 7 signs someone loves you, but it is toxic. Number 1, they get unreasonably jealous and possessive. Number 2, they act passive aggressive towards you. Number 3, they have codependency issues. Number 4, your relationship has an uneven power dynamic. Somebody is in control of the relationship. Number 5, the relationship feels bad all the time. Number 6, you lose who you are to the relationship. And then the final one, number 7, you over idealize one another. Y'all, we've been talking a whole lot about like relationship kind of stuff, which is good, man, because we're all men in here. And usually we the ones who don't get the information on how to treat somebody. You know, me and my brother was just having a conversation about this, man, about relationships and what we've been learning about them and stuff like that, chopping it up. So it's true, man. We never really, nobody really sat down with us and learned this, the birds and the bees. More than likely, you know who you learned the birds and the bees from? An older kid who didn't know nothing. That's where I was learning about girls from, older kids. Look, man, see, people forget. Like when you're like 11 and 12, somebody 16 is almost grown to you. They got a whole lot more experience at 16 than you do at 11. So you at 11 gonna look at them almost like they're like a semi-adult kind of. And you'll carry that stuff with you. You'll be 50 years old still believing what somebody told you when you was 11 or 16-year-old.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, right? You got most relationships. Well, like we all grown men. Everybody ain't about over 40. You know, I'm just saying. Where do the status of read between the lines come in at? Instead of being direct.
What do you mean, trying to get to know a lady?
No, like you saying like codependent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of we being direct, why do they try to tell you to read between the lines and get it correct? Instead of, okay, I'm on this path, but you said, oh, you don't get it. Read between the lines.
If she's telling you to read, if she's telling you to read between the lines, and she has an issue with communication, that's a person who has an issue with communication. Because what you mean read between the lines? I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
Do you like me?
Yeah,
I like you. I mean, those are kind of, but you got to have them kind of conversations. Those are adult conversations.
But you working, you taking care of the kids, you feel like you're doing the things that's right, but then she come with the, oh, you not seeing what I see, read between the lines. You're like, what you mean read between the lines?
Well, the thing is what I would say to that is, okay, I'm a grown man, you a grown woman. If you want me to change something, you need to tell me right now what you want me to change. Because I can't read your mind, and you can't read my mind. So that's a woman who you dealing with who don't know how to communicate how she feels. Now, I guarantee you, though, she gonna tell all her friends how she feel about you.
Yeah. Yeah, they know.
And they gonna know what you not doing.
Yeah.
And they gonna know what she's upset about. So if you can tell them, you can tell me. And if she's not telling you, then you're just not that important. Because if she wanted you around, she would tell you. Come on. If a woman wants you around, she gonna tell you. Instead of telling you that you're not doing what's right.
Right.
Okay, so if I ain't doing what's right, tell me what I need to do that's right. You need to figure it on out.
True.
So you still want me to do what's wrong? Then it ain't important to her. Yeah, that's some reality right there. Yeah, that's a person who's a grown person and they got issues with communication. Because two adults who in a relationship with each other are going to tell each other how they feel. They're going to tell each other what they don't like. They're not going to bite their tongue about it. I mean, why? Why would you bite your tongue about it? Because if the person don't know, they're going to keep offending you. And they might not even know they're offending you because what offends you might not be offensive to them. And how you get down might not be how they get down. So that's what a relationship, when you get to know a person, is all about. You got to have good communication so y'all can work out the little kinks. Because now y'all coming together. So y'all ain't going to have no just smooth transition. You're going to make some mistakes and she going to make mistakes. But that's what communication is all about. When a person make you feel uncomfortable, you might not say nothing right then depending on where you at. But then once y'all get alone and y'all got some free time, hey, babe, you know, when we went out and you was over there talking to that dude, I know that was your friend. And I know you ain't seen him in a while. But, you know, I was left over there for like 15 minutes while y'all was talking. I felt uncomfortable. I ain't like that. I don't like being places where I'm by myself like that, especially when I come with you. I don't mind that, but just introduce me and bring me into the conversation next time. That's how you communicate. Instead of me just not talking to you, I don't answer your call for 3 days until I finally get over it, and then we hook back up and I act like it never happened. And then you ain't asking me no questions. Like, oh, he got over whatever he got over. That's not a relationship. That's BS. That's destined to fail.